Yo, what is up everyone, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video with your host Kenkukun. Alright. We have INT Broly's EZA. Now, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. He is, under the wrong circumstances, he is not good. Alright? What are the right circumstances? There's a lot of conditions that need to be fulfilled, alright? Let me go ahead and get my thoughts together. Let's go ahead and take the turn and get my thoughts together. Number one, his condition, he needs to be fighting a movie hero, Pure Saiyan, or Hyper Saiyan. That's going to be easy to fulfill now that they're bringing out, you know, events where we fight super type enemies. Guess what we have a lot of? Saiyans. Guess what else we're going to have a lot of? Movie heroes. So that's going to help him out there. Now, if you're not fighting those guys, this guy is highly underwhelming. He can, I believe, according to his passive, he can super up to 5 times, if you count the hidden potential, I believe. I have not had him super 5 times yet, but I believe it can be done. He can get up to, nearly up to 50% damage reduction if you're fighting a Goku. We are fighting a Goku right here, a Goku and Vegeta. But on average, you know, if you meet the other criteria, you're going to have 34% damage reduction. All right, there's super number 1. There's an additional normal. Here's an additional with a great chance of being a normal. And I think we should see an additional for fighting a Goku enemy. And we should see the hidden potential. Either a normal or a super. Either one. Okay, so he does have the potential to super 5 times if there is a Goku you're fighting. Alright, that's good to know. Now, I have 20 additional. I'm shocked he didn't super attack, but whatever. I really like Broly's intro because it's not just him screaming. Okay. This is a tough decision. I'm going to do the AGL Broly because they do stack defense for 4 turns. So we'll do that. We'll get same type orbs with the Breakfast Club, and then we're going to get Tech Broly next to INT Broly. Now, what are some of the negatives about this unit besides that, you know, besides that he has to stack his defense up to, you know, and he's going to stack slower than Tech Ultimate Gohan. A lot has to go his way on the team or in the fight, right? You're really never going to be able to slide him into slot 1 safely. It's not going to happen. So if the enemy's health bar is low, he may not even get to attack because you're going to have units in front of him that are going to do far better than that unit, all right? And that's kind of like, that's the biggest problem with him outside of, you know, maybe you know, I agree they probably should have gave him a little bit more stacking capability instead of keeping it at 20. At 26%, the damage reduction is just not good enough. I think they restricted him too heavily because we're not always going to be fighting a Goku, but we can always fight a Pure Saiyan, Hyper Saiyan, or movie hero. The multiplicative buff of 26%, it doesn't need to be a glaring 100%. They could have made that like, and they could have doubled it and made it a 52%, and that would have been way better. That would have been way better. It would have been, he would be looking like a very average unit very early on. For him to look average, for him to look average on the low end, he needs at least 700k defense. At least 700k defense. On average, units right now in 2024, EZAs, super EZAs of TURs They're floating anywhere between 800,000, and that's the super low end, and 1.2 million. Goku Black Super EZA can get up to 2 million. STR Kefla can get into the 1.1s to 1.3s. I think INT Gotenks floats around the same area around there. Tech Gotenks has a lot of dodge or damage reduction and can hit around 1 million. EZA AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku, he's the one that he'll fall below the 800k after all of his stuff wears off. He did not age very long, right? Everyone else has aged. All the other Super EZAs have done well, right? And then Tech Ultimate Gohan, I believe by the third time you see him, he's closing in on 1 million defense. INT Broly, you need 5 supers every time you see him. And maybe he's going to be closing in on 1 million. That was a lot of damage, Gogeta. All right, now we have the Breakfast Club next to each other. Bam. All right. Let's do this. I mean, that kind of sucks. I think I need to do this. I got to separate them. Normally, I wouldn't be separating Goku Black and the Broly Chi Line Lemo Club because I want someone on the rotation making orbs for them so they can get their 7 key. Now, this team, I would say, is one of the better teams in the game with one of the better leader skills, too, right? We have... Oh, I guess I should have put AJL Broly first. Oh, I guess I could have... I guess I didn't have to float anyone off if we were going to end it right there. I didn't even think about that. Oh, we can drop the domain, too? All right, let's go ahead and get everything rolling. All right. Let's take a look at his start of turn defense. 695. When he attacks, his defense is going to be average because that 26% is going to kick in, right? And he's going to have that average defense. All right. Now, I don't want to go crazy with Tech Broly, so we won't. I do want same type orbs. And then AJL Broly. Now, and this is with... This is with AJL Broly's domain. So turn 5, right? This is his third turn. And on his third turn, he's slowly getting close to 1 million defense. If we get 4 super attacks right here, he's probably, next time we see him, he's going to be looking at 900k defense. And then when he attacks, it'll be 1 million, right? It'll be over 1 million. So... he is now looking average. We're 3 phases into the fight. Not every fight will we have the luxury to build him up, right? He's going to need to be better early on. But I think with his kit, and I think the damage reduction is going to help. I do think the damage reduction kind of helps him. Dokkan is in a place where I think they're trying to, like... They're not trying to power creep everything constantly. I think they're trying to, like, plateau, at least maybe for the year of 2024. I would not be surprised. I would be very pleased if they were going to plateau the game's power creep on our side and the enemy side. They can make our units hit as strong as they want and just give the enemy bosses as much damage reduction as they want. And that was 4 super attacks, I believe, right? So, and they could give, you know, so we could have 100 million attack stats, right? Popping out on every unit, on banner units one day, and they could just give, you know, all of the Dokkan events just 95% damage reduction because that's what they need to survive, right? So we can get the eye candy that players want, but the balance that the game needs for longevity and fun. For the longevity of fun, all right? Let me state that a little bit differently. Now, let me say, I think one of the most important things for fun in this game is the ability to play with a myriad amount of characters at a time. Not just one team for a year, not just one team for every major celebration and until the next one comes out. No, that's not fun, all right? If power creep is what ends the fun, because we have to continuously get stronger and stronger and stronger and just outpace older units, that's not fun. It's not fun in a hero collecting gacha game, all right? None of them. So I personally would love to see power creep hit a plateau, and because they have damage reduction to use at their disposal for the events that we fight in, players can still have the eye candy on the attack stats. The defensive stats might be a little bit different, right? So, but who knows what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, right? Power creep happens in every, you know, gacha game hero collector, but I think Dokkan power creeps way faster than others, especially games where you can control a little bit more in the fight. Them open world gacha games, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rails, Endless Zone Zero, Wuthering Waves, stuff like that. I'm sure there's power creep in that game, but because we have a little bit more to player skill, the power creep comes down to, I've seen some other games like Impact, or time limits are what usually like batter old units down, right? You have a time limit to do something, and that's what really makes it, you know, like, oh man, if I don't get the new unit that can deal more damage than the last, I can't get all of the missions complete within the X amount of time limit, right? So Dokkan doesn't have, you know, well, Dokkan does have time limit missions sometimes, but Dokkan really doesn't have that glaring problem, right? So I think power creep is not the friend of Dokkan. I think it's more of the enemy of Dokkan. It's not necessary for the game to thrive. Getting rid of power creep clearly isn't necessary for the game to thrive, or it wouldn't have thrived this long. But I think it would be more fun for everyone if power creep wasn't the biggest glaring, you know, like boogeyman of the game, right? So I think we could get away with INT Broly in slot 1 right here. He's finally at 1,000,000 defense. He made it. He made it to the 1,000,000 defense club. It took him a little bit to get there. Remember, when he attacks, he's going to get 26%. So just 20% of 1,000,000 is what? 200,000? Yep, that's right. So he's going to be close to 1.3 million, somewhere between 1.2 and 1.3. On top of the stacks, right? So we're going to, you know, we're throwing the stack in there too. 13 million attack stat. Now, next time we see him, we will use his active skill. Again, I would say, you know, sheesh. The longer the fight goes, the less likely an enemy is going to survive multiple supers, too. Don't crit. Oh, my gosh. Type advantage. All right. I'm just going to use Gogeta to save this rotation.
How long do you think you can keep up with me?
Bam, there we go. Now we can kind of like lowball the Q2s here. Give me a quick moment. I want to look up Gogeta. Oh, sorry. I want to look up the event, and I just want to see how tough this event's going to be hitting for us. Just to kind of give us an idea of what we're fighting right here. Here I go. I found it. So we started off with 840,000 super. Jump to a 1.5 million. That's a pretty significant jump. I would say, you know, 2 million is probably the average for a lot of Dokkan events. 1.9 million in the SDR, 2.3 in the tech, and then 2.7 in the SDR. Again, we can lower this guy's attack. Now, he raises his attack on super attack by 100%, so he's going to be hitting pretty hard here, right? So this is not Even though we can lower this guy's attack, this is not an event where we're just gonna be crushing through this like it's nobody's business. I guess we'll give him all of those for. Yeah, there we go. Gogeta doesn't need to like super duper super, and we don't need. Well, we don't need 24 key with AGL Broly, but we're gonna get in anyway. But we're gonna get the Dokkan attack with Int Broly. Oh, I'm gonna have to put him in slot 1 to get it. Dang, I wish Gogeta was there to like guarantee that he would be safe. I don't know that 1.2 million and 34% damage reduction is going to be good enough to put in front of this guy's super attack. Now, we are going to lower his attack a little bit with physical Broly. I don't know that it's going to be enough. I guess we'll see. But yeah, again, I would say this guy is pretty average. I know everyone's looking at his defensive stats and they don't see those big jump in numbers. I would say maybe Dokkan probably should have done... He should have stacked a little bit more, a little bit faster. I think at 30% might have been like the sweet spot for him. 30% would have been the sweet spot for him, and now he would be, you know, he would be hitting the average numbers just a little bit sooner, right? Just a little bit sooner, so... Oh man, oh, is this really about to go crazy? Yeah. Oh man. Well, so much for having Int Broly like get another turn in. And Int Broly would be hitting like a nuke too, just so you know. Int Broly, that 50% attacking stat, he's looking like an LR unit by the time, like he's helping end fights quickly. Oh my god. Don't crit. If he doesn't crit, I think we see the next turn. Oh, no, never mind. Yeah, and right there, we just go... Oh, I had the... Sorry, I had the volume way up. I apologize. Whoops. Gogeta, Gogeta is just one of those fights where he needs a little more damage reduction. Does he even have any damage reduction? 71%? That's not enough. Oh, he actually doesn't have that much health. 70,000 or 70 million. Yeah, these events, I could see them getting like a phase 2. Yeah, man. Yeah, they definitely need more. Anyway, I think Int Broly's worth the investment. I think he's good. You keep him in. You fight a Pure Saiyan, Hybrid Saiyan, or Movie Hero. He's looking good. You fight a Goku, right? He's looking very good. Up to 5 supers and one. I bet with 10 supers, he's probably close to 1 million defense like that, right? 10 supers, right? So, with that said, and we didn't really have any support on the team either, right? So I still think this is one of his better teams to put him on too. And you can run him off of a Broly team. He's not getting defensive links, so you can have him on teams where support exists far more lucratively than this team. Dry Throat, I'm out of here. Enjoy your night, evening, morning, whatever it may be. Peace out. And I will see you next time.